Heyo, so we are finally back with another MerMay, and I wanted to do another OC design because I kind of just realized that this is the direction my MerMay is going, so I just decided to stick with that theme and go with all character design and then leave my fun and funky stuff on my YouTube shorts. Now for this one I wanted to hyperfixate on some OCs that I always hyperfixate on. It's King and Blue. I love them to death. My Demon OC and then my fiance's Angel OC. And this literally just started out because my fiance was like, oh, wouldn't it be cute if Blue was an angelfish? And I know what angelfish are. I've seen them in Animal Crossing. I'm like, yeah, that would be cute. So I wrote that down. I was like, oh, then I can do King as a demon fish. So I'm like, if there even was a demon fish, go on Google, look it up. It turns out a demon fish is also an anglerfish. And I just did an anglerfish not too long ago when I made Racer as a merfolk, and I'm like, I can't do another anglerfish. Is there like a devilfish? And there was, and it turns out a devilfish is also a devil ray, which is like a species of manta ray, and I thought, perfect. I wanted to challenge myself with some more fish designs, like stuff that's not necessarily fish-like, like the sea angel and the devil ray. I thought that'd be cool, and I just wanted to have fun with it, because I really don't see manta rays all that much, because I feel like that's a really hard fish to portray as a mer person. And oh boy, was I right. It was very hard to portray as a mer person. References I found for manta rays, they were all like that. So I decided to Google like manta ray mermaid to see if I could find anything. And I found like 4, and they all seem to have the same similar concepts where instead of just making like, oh, like a mer person or something like that, their arms and the webbing between their arms that go down to their tail are connected how like manta rays are, and it's not 100% how a manta ray looks, but it's similar enough. So I was able to go along with that, and Blue's design was easy. Like Angel, I just basically took away the head and used the bottom half of an angelfish. I'm not 100% happy with the way that King's looks. I feel like his arms are a little too, or like the flaps where the fins are a little too stiff. And most devil rays are like mostly black and white, and I didn't want to do it just black and white. That's boring. So I decided to go with green since his magic in canon is green based. His wings are green, like the webbing on his wings are green, his horns are green. So I just made it easy and just went with that. And Blue also isn't 100% like an angelfish. Blue's favorite color is pink. He's very pink baby girl princess. So I made the little thingy blue or pink instead of orange. And I know angelfish are technically transparent. I didn't want to deal with that. Like, I mean, I could have, but I just wanted it, because the background was already going to be kind of blue, so I just went with the blue teal shading just to go with it. But the blending on that was not my favorite, and oh my god, why did I choose to do this to myself? I'm using those fuck-ass Karin markers again. I can tell you why I'm trying to use them, because they're expensive. I mean, yeah, I got them on a crazy deal. It was like buy 3, get 2 free, and I bought every single open stock that Michael's had. But they were just, they were just not my favorite. I don't know why I keep trying to use these markers. I see people use them online. I've used them like once or twice. I see people online using them, like they'll put them down and then put paintbrush over it and they just glide. They melt like beautiful, beautiful watercolor. The first time I tried them, I could not get them to melt, and I was using cold pressed watercolor paper. And I even tried it on some crappy paper, like my notebook paper to sketch on, and it wasn't working. Because I had a whole different idea for the background, but I couldn't get the colors to melt the way I wanted. But I'm like, I don't know what's up with these markers. I spent so much money on them and they just like don't work. So they're probably just going to be tossed into my marker box. I don't know yet. So for right now, they're separate because like I said, I wanted to like these markers. I really did. And when I got them, I thought I was getting a good variation of colors, some nice blender shadings, but they're just not what I wanted them to be. And I'm very upset about that. Like, there's good color selection for some parts, like the greens I used for King. There were some nice greens. Some of them didn't go dark enough. I have to layer a couple of them. Like his webbing, I wanted it to be dark, and I ended up layering it with like 2 coats of green, and then there was like a base of purple. His actual manta body, which he's like the only mer person I've ever fully drawn that's technically like naked. Well, no, because Henry from last week, he doesn't have any clothes on either, and it's literally only because I like drawing him with his top surgery scars. But King is like the only other merfolk that's like full naked technically, because he has no vest, no nothing, because of his wings. Well, I mean, he technically has 2 sets of wings, like his manta ray wings that are connected to his arms, so then I still gave him his demon wings just for characteristics, because when I did Dominic a couple years ago, he's a half demon, half human character I have, he still kept his wings in his merman form. So I kept King with his wings. Same thing with Blue, he still has his wings, but Blues are a little bit smaller because angelfish are smaller. I just kept King's secondary wings as regular size. But yeah, I didn't have the greens dark enough, and I was like, I can't function with this. I have to keep layering. And I have used so many markers in the sketchbook so far for MerMay, which of course, if you haven't noticed, I'm doing Tuesdays, Fridays, and Thursdays as MerMay. So 3 a week, 13 mermaids this month we're getting. And when I first started MerMay, like early last month, I had almost half of it done before the challenge even started. And then like April 30th, I was like, fuck it, let's just do every Friday upload instead of junk journaling. Just do more MerMay. So that sent me back by like 3 weeks. I'm like, oh, then this is gonna be a real challenge. So I've been busting through these, and they look good, don't get me wrong, but I've been layering markers and trying out like blending techniques and everything. It's just like Crayola markers, cheap water-based markers, and they don't bleed through the paper. These Karin markers bleed through the paper like crazy. I'm so lucky that they didn't bleed through fully. It's insane. I'm just in total shock on how bad these markers are. I see people swear by these, like, oh, they're beautiful. Like I said, I see them melting on other artists' papers. They look gorgeous, and then when I use them, they suck. And I'm like, is it me? I don't think it's me, because I've used watercolor markers before. I can make watercolor markers work. I have those Nouveau markers that are watercolor markers, and they're gorgeous, but these Karin markers, I don't like them as watercolor markers. Everybody says, oh, they're this, they're this. They're not this. They suck. Don't waste your money. Seriously, go and get, like, the fucking Michaels brand watercolor brush markers. You'll get the same fucking thing, and you get more of them for less money. It's just frustrating, because I wanted the background. I don't know if anybody remembers this, and I'm gonna sound like a total stalker psycho. As I mentioned in the first MerMay like 2 weeks ago, I had on a Baylee Jae playlist, and I had on the playlist for marker art in the YouTube Artist Collective that she did years and years ago with that steampunky cat came on, and how she dripped alcohol ink on the background. I wanted that, but water-based, so I was gonna just like drip little bits of water on the background to make like bubbles, but they didn't melt on my test paper. They didn't melt at all, and I was getting pissed. So I gave up on that, and that's why I just did those little white circles in the background when we get to the end. So yeah, don't waste your money on these markers. Unless you just want like flat color or like cell shading like I did, don't waste your money. It's not worth it. It's really not. But besides that, everything was fun, except for Blue Skin. I wanted to use only these markers so bad, but I realized that I didn't have a color close enough to like a pale white person's skin. So I ended up grabbing an Ecoline marker, which are also watercolor markers that work better than the Karin markers. I'm a Karin marker hater. I'm a Karin for the Karin markers. But yes, I used an Ecoline in, I think it was called Apricot, because it was like 2 shades more yellow than the soft peach that the Karin markers had. And it still came out really, really peachy, but it's better than it would have been, I think. Just don't look at his one hand, because I realized that I was trying to layer something that I shouldn't have, and it was whatever. I maybe hit it well enough, but it's fine. That hand is also connected to King's tail that I realized that I did the shading backwards on, because when I do MerMay, I like to do 2 light sources, like, because it's like underwater, one facing one character, one facing the other, like they're being front lit, kind of, or like 2 light. And I realized that even though it's King's tail, his light's coming from the right, stage right, page right. I put it onto Blue, who has stage left lighting, and did not shade that tail accordingly, but we're going to ignore it and pretend it's fine. That's what we get for rushing things, because again, I'm trying to get all of this MerMay done. I have 13 illustrations and I only have 7 of them done. It's gonna be a lot, but I'm gonna be working on it as fast as I can and as decent as I can. But next week is the final week of long form MerMay, 75% sure. If not, you're gonna see me in next week's long form video being like, oh shit, I didn't realize I had to do this, even though I realized. But if there's no long form video next week for MerMay, it's because I didn't have to do it, and I realized I panicked for nothing. So I'm gonna leave it off there and go immediately start working on the next MerMay. I see why people call this a challenge. Like, I thought I was doing pretty good at getting caught up, and then I just like shot myself in the foot, full honesty. But hey, it's fine. Moral of the story, look how freaking cute my characters are. They're adorable. I love them to death. Oh, and oh my god, I just remembered the whole point of me making this whole voiceover is that I'm finally drawing outside again. The weather was super nice the day I recorded this, so my fiance and I sat on the porch for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I just colored. And now that I feel more confident coloring and recording in front of my fiance, I might be able to do this more often, like outside stuff, so I'm really excited. So now I'm just gonna leave it at that. Look how cute these characters are. Don't waste your money on the Karin markers. That's my life lesson for right now, so I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Thank you guys so much for watching another MerMay, and we'll see you guys next week for definitely another MerMay. It might be the final one. I don't have a calendar in front of me. Oh, and links to my Instagram, not Instagram, links to my Blue Sky and my Etsy are also down below. Okay, now I'm going. See you guys next week. Bye.